Do not be afraid to dance ahead of time, as the Father instructs you today. Even though you don't believe you are wearing dancing shoes, you actually are. On the dance floor of unrivaled victory and triumph, the army boots of your concept of spiritual battle are being removed, and the tap shoes of my celebration are being placed on your feet. I am bringing you out on the dance floor. The existence that I have chosen for you is not one that is comprised of a never-ending cycle of struggle and a modest deliverance. You will not experience a period of decline, rather, you will experience a passage from faith to faith and splendor to glory. At all times, your inner man is programmed to triumph. This is a part of his DNA. On the inside of you, the foundation of who I am is about never failing, never falling, and never accepting no as an answer. This is the framework that I am built around. As your ground state and baseline experience in me, are you prepared to receive my yes and amen words in a continuous, uninterrupted, and seamless manner? God says, I have made some promises to you, and I have offered you some things. However, you must get rid of the unnecessary baggage. Lost the baggage, picked up the luggage, and boarded the vehicle of grace and overcoming that is waiting for you at the stop where you are to transport you to a place you have never been before. Just give your consent, God says. Quit pondering the question why or hesitating because you don't comprehend it. I extend to you the peace that surpasses comprehension on this occasion. When you go, you will be escorted out with serenity, and you will leave with delight. It is the joy that determines the path, and the tranquility that determines the course of action. When you move out of the room, put aside the arguments of the intellect that wants to know everything there is to know. With no prior knowledge, Abraham went out. Would you be willing to be completely oblivious to my kingdom? If this is the case, then the uncharted territory of your future, which comprises your bright, amazing, and lovely future, is waiting for you. Believe me, if you only will, you will be pleased with the way things appear when you get at your destination. The Father says to you today, open up your spirit, your human spirit, and allow me to come into that deep place within you that has been waiting for such a long time. I am a large God, and I want you to be a part of my bigness to the fullest extent possible. Open your heart wide. I am not one to wallow in insignificant companionship or in superficial expectations. In order to believe me for the impossible, the implausible, and even the convoluted, you need to have the confidence to do so. Your fear has prevented you from walking with me to the place that I would take you, and you have permitted problems and chains of complications to prevent you from doing so. Never mind all of that. Put an end to dwelling so much. You put yourself in a position of limitation when you are unable to gather your thoughts and emotions in front of me and just hear, listen, and accept with simplicity what I reveal to you. In the direction that I am heading you, the life that you have lived and the things that you believe you have learnt will not be of any use to you. Because of your previous experiences, you could believe that you have everything under control, but there are locations that I am going to take you to that will leave you speechless because of things that you could not have known or anticipated based on your previous experiences. Be willing to refrain from acting as your own self-appointed authority over what will occur in the future or even how you will understand experiences from the past. You have formed opinions about your history that are not in agreement with the things that I have stated about you. You may refer to it as failure, but I refer to it as saving you from yourself and from the traps set by the adversary. Learn to have no opinion, and this ride on the roller coaster of blessings that I am bringing you on will be a far more enjoyable experience, says the Father. This day, the Father asks, what is it that you are afraid of? The fact that one day in my courts is preferable to 1,000 other places is something that you are aware of, just as I am. Inquire with me. I dare you to beg me for the one thing that will truly satisfy that aching, throbbing yearning that is residing deep within you. Please, my sweetheart, do not accept any replacements. When things reach their lowest point, the compassion of others can be a source of icy consolation. In spite of the fact that the warmest embrace is nothing more than the chilly fingers of self-direction, I have expressed everything that I am and everything that I could possibly be for you 2,000 years ago. It is imperative that you do not give in to the temptation of wasting your time and your life by searching elsewhere for something that can only be provided by me. Is it possible for you to comprehend, even for a few period, that I am your whole and total need and that I will never abandon you in a state of hopelessness or isolation? God commands you to come to my courts. In my presence, you must come to the fire that never goes out. Together with the 24 elders and the 4 living creatures, bow down before my throne and utter the words, Holy, holy, holy. You will look, and my face will be in front of you where your eyes are. The intensity of my presence will cause the lintels on your doors to smoke, and in an instant, everything on earth will vanish as if it were nothing of significance. Just for a moment, I want you to imagine that I am elevated and elevated on the inside of you. The train of my love fills the temple that you are on this day. Take a look at me, says God, as I sit on the throne of your consciousness. Behold the love and compassion that I have in my eyes, and behold my heart. This is a fresh day, even though it might not feel like it right now. Things of the past have been replaced. You are about to experience a time of revitalization and restoration as you give permission for the person that I truly am to fill the temple that you are. According to what the Father has revealed to us today, what you are experiencing is not a desire to travel, rather, it is my call for you to leave where you are and move to the new location that is now your portion here alongside me. God urges you to emerge from the religious lair that has encompassed your spiritual experience in the past. Come out of the barnyard of religion. At this point in your life, the wings of the eagle have reached their full maturity, and your eyes are no longer dull. You are now able to see through rather than just with your eyes, because I have anointed you and opened your eyes. Take a look at what has been out there the whole time, something that needs to be dealt with, but you were unable to notice it. Be active. The time has come to take action, you can no longer wait. Be not terrified of the faces that they have. Don't be afraid to take action because you have no idea what is beyond the other side, for I am always by your side and I will never abandon you or leave you behind. At the moment, you have a very limited number of relationships that will continue to exist despite the shift and transition that you are going through. Avoid holding them so tightly that they are unable to breathe. If you turn to the people you care about for something that I can only offer, you are not being fair to them. I am the comfort that you want. I am your source of power. It is I who is your companion, and I am the source of your companionship. Do you understand that? While Adam was looking for a mate that was a good fit for him, I was standing right there all along. Was I not sufficient enough? Do you find that I am not sufficient for you? However, what I have for you is not something that can be found in the arms of another person. Natural companionship is one thing. I am the one who adores your very being. When it comes to your inner man, I am the spouse and the bridegroom. When you come closer to me, will you go further and deeper than you have ever gone before? Oh, my beloved, it is available, and I am waiting for it. In today's message, the Father emphasizes that this is not a march but rather a dance. Let me take the lead, it will be to your advantage. I want you to take my hand, look me in the eye, and put your faith in me. I won't let you fall or let you stumble without my help. I promise that I will never abandon you. This is where I am, and I have no intention of leaving. Despite the fact that the adversary is trying to provoke you and pierce your heart with his insults, you should not take the bait. I have moved you out of the domain of darkness and into the kingdom of my darling Son. He wants to trick you into entering his world, but I have prevented him from doing so. It is more important to gaze into my eyes than to stare at the situation. My waist is the center of my fire, and my waist is the bottom of my fire. I am a fire that consumes everything. I invite you to immerse yourself in the flames that I am and allow yourself to be consumed by them until nothing of the world is left and only my nature is left. God tells you that you are more than just a human being. On the day that you were born, you are more than what you were at that time. My incorruptible seed has been planted in your life, and it is the single most important thing that has happened. You should always keep in mind that you are a brand new creation, a completely different species. It is not the natural domain that you call your native habitat. Now, you are operating in the ground condition that is comprised of my glory and my throne. Extend your wings and fly. After emerging from the cocoon of immaturity in matters pertaining to spirituality, the time has come for you to go on. Now is the time for you to take off. It is time for you to ascend and experience the decisions that I have made in your life. Have a willing attitude. Have a fearless and exhilarating attitude. Have you prepared yourself to free fall to the Father? The hour has come. God says, I will catch you, and I will take you, lifting you up beyond anything you have experienced in my presence. This is because it is time for a new perspective and a new experience in me. I will take you. As of today, the Father has revealed to you that there is a voice within you that is uttering the words of grace, 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 to the foundation of my presence and my glory that is hidden within you. It is not by might, and it is not by might, my dearest, that I am going to do the things in the earth that you are going to be a part of. It is only by my Spirit that I will do these things. Put an end to your efforts to be strong and simply admit that I am strong. It is imperative that you refrain from attempting to be powerful, as it is only my power that resides within you that can quell the violence of the sword and bring you success in life. In the moments when you are at your most powerful, best, and most put together, you are doing nothing but shadowboxing. Unwind. Then you will see something. Oh, will you see some things? Rest in me and declare in your heart, it is the Father that does the work. Then you will see something. Your life and the situations you find yourself in will undergo a complete and utter transformation as a result of my power, my might, and my glory. God tells you to get ready to flee the scene. I am enveloping you in the gentleness and consolation that this love of mine provides. This moment marks the beginning of a journey into the depth, height, and width of my love that you have never experienced before. Hurry up. Get ready to dash into my name and gird your feet. With my arms wide out, I am here. I am here to love you with all the love that sent heaven's darling to pay the price for every sin and every misdirection that you have experienced. I am here to love you. I am aware that at times you have erred. I am aware that you have not complied. There is no way that my love can be compared to all of that. Take a look at me. Because this is your unique season of affection and blessing, the Father assures you that you will not be let down in any way. What the Father is saying today is that you should press into my presence and my splendor. In the process of enveloping you in the opaque folds of my grandeur and my embrace, I would like to allow myself to surround you so that every anxiety and worry would dissolve away into nothingness. You are not the only one. Do you not realize that I consider you to be the delight of my eyes? The adversary wants you to believe that you are all by alone and that there is no hope for you, but this is not even close to being the reality. I have a surprise in store for you, my sweetheart. There is a great surprise in store for you. I am taking all of my resources with me to the internet in order to shift, alter, and transition you to a new dynamic of blessing and favor that you have never experienced before. God encourages that you put on your jogging shoes. If you are being hurled out of the four walls that are closing in on you, then you should get your Holy Ghost pole vault in your hands. The road that lies ahead of you is a trip. It is God who will revive the dead. While you are losing yourself in the magnificence that I am dragging you into right now, those things in your life that have been on life support are coming to a new level of vibrancy. God invites you to come into me. Break out from your confines. If you want to see what you were meant to be in my kingdom, you must first shed the garments of mourning. Things are shifting. Despite the fact that you can't fully see it, it is changing. Have faith in me. Put your faith in me, and I will handle everything from here on out. Don't give up hope, the Father says to us today. I tell you that joy is your part, despite the fact that the adversary of your soul seeks to obscure your head and discourage your heart with fear and hopelessness. I am aware of the roaring of your heart. I am aware of the pain that is causing you trouble. Have faith in me. You should put your faith in what I am doing to make the greatest dream and the utmost heart's desire come true. It is both who I am and what I do. You think you've messed things up, and you think you can never restore that which is of worth to you. However, I want you to know that I am the God of second chances, and that includes being given a second opportunity. Always keep in mind the loyalty of my name. Always keep in mind that Jesus came down from the throne to the cross in order to rectify the situation that had been so badly messed up by the actions of man. Nevertheless, the job needs to be done in your life right now. If you are looking into the darkness, today is your day of hope, and tomorrow is your time of realization and thanks for what I have already done for you, which you are unable to see because you are looking into the darkness. Pay attention to what I have to say. The heart of man is in my hands, and I can direct it in any direction I want. Do you have any idea that I am more powerful than the things that you are unable to alter and that you have unsuccessfully attempted to fix? Have no fear. Refuse to be concerned. Should you find yourself unable to articulate your beliefs, let your tongue to stick to the roof of your mouth. There are times when the most powerful expression of faith you can make is to maintain complete silence and then wait for my solution, which has been present from the beginning, to materialize. Would you be able to do that? Your God replies, I know that you are able to do so because my grace is on you even at this very moment. The Father states that every word should be established today, and that it should be established in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Is there any limit to the number of ways in which I can practice the directives that will regulate your life in the days and weeks to come? You should not gaze to either the right or the left hand. It is important to avoid getting sidetracked by people in your immediate vicinity who are not interested in the future of you in any manner, shape, or form. This is where I am, and I am working. In the event that you are unable to put your faith in anything else, you can put your faith in the unwavering nature of my love for you and in my capacity to guarantee your destiny and your purpose, which I originally outlined before the world was even created. Hearken to the voice of your shepherd, you should tell your heart, and you should tell your mind, be still and know. I am reawakening a consciousness within you that is more profound than anything you can experience or anything you can learn from any other source. Yes, those are the deep waters that are calling to your deep. Those are the deep waters. Do not accept any alternatives. I understand that you are exhausted, and I am aware that you are dissatisfied. These feelings are fleeting and will pass away sooner or later. In the meantime, you will continue to be here, and I will be right here by your side. There will soon be a change. Not only has the transition arrived, but it is already encircling you with its eddies and currents at this very moment. Take a deep breath of the calm that I leave with you today, and rest in the knowledge that this is the truth. It is going to happen that my goodness will come to see you, and that will be the deciding factor. Objects are closer than they appear to be, according to what the Father says today. You are going away from the past, and the future is moving closer to you. The future that I have prepared for your life is becoming closer and closer at a faster rate. You should not be afraid of time. Considering that I have time, you also have time. Because the present moment is obedient to my will and lowers itself down to my shrine, I am never in a rush. Concerning what are you most concerned? As I make my way through your history, I am removing the tangled web of influences that your feelings have become entangled in. The way I work to repair your soul is as described here. The moment I sever the strands of nostalgia, bitterness, grief, and hurt that bind you together, you are brought back to yourself in a way that is even more complete than you were before the disappointment. Have faith in me in the work. You have expressed a desire for comprehension, but I would want to tell you that there is a tranquility that surpasses comprehension. Your comprehension will never be able to take you where my tranquility will take you. Rest now in the rhythms of my faithfulness that are not forced upon you. Despite the fact that I took you out of your mother's womb, cleansed you with salt, and brought you up as if you were my own, I am choosing to take you on. I will never abandon you, and I will never abandon you. I promise of that. As a result, my goodness is always close at hand, and it always surrounds you with the full measure of my favor. There is no threat of you falling behind. You have not yet reached the brighter days, rather, they are still in front of you. Be sure to relax your grip. Have your jaw relax. Lie your head back on my shoulder. We are getting quite close to our destination. The Father has spoken to us today, saying that expectations that are rooted in my promise are never lost. When was the last time I communicated with you? What is the specific chapter in the pages of my word that addresses the situation that you are in? My pledge does not contain a single phrase that might be interpreted in a manner that is personal. As a result, anything that I have said to anyone, anywhere, may be safely pinned down and applied to your requirements, your circumstances, and your scenario. Have faith in me. Let me handle everything from here on out. I have guaranteed you that this would not be affected by circumstances, conditions, or alternative outcomes. Therefore, you should not glance to the right hand or to the left on this matter. It is important that you exercise caution with your heart and that you continue to rely on me for all of your aspirations and goals. God wants you to be aware of the fact that my word serves as your anchor, and my spirit serves as your sail. The waves and billows that lie beyond provide a glimpse into the uncharted territory of your future, which is highly fluid and subject to change. In spite of the fact that you believe I write in stone, I actually write in sand. Although things and people are subject to change, my will for you is also subject to change in tandem with these variables. Nonetheless, the result remains completely consistent. Your portion will consist of what I promised and what I said I would do, provided that you make a decision not to opt out of my process, which is my anointed process. It will not appear in the manner that you had anticipated, and I will not lead you to the destination in a manner that you could possibly anticipate. Simply continue to have faith in and cling to my unchanging essence while I guide you through a period of time that is filled with constant change. Currently, the Father is saying, I loved so much that I gave. This day, I will continue to offer. In the course of your day, go out and do the same thing. I am not a God who withholds, but rather I am a God who gives. Who exactly is this deity who would sit in the temple between your temples and declare that he is the one who represents me? In reality, he is a fraud. It is important to keep in mind that every single one of my promises is a resounding yes and an affirmative affirmation. I will never change my opinion about that, and I will never deviate from behaving in your life and position in accordance with the nature of who I am in my real self. In order to be truly in my image, God explains, you must conform to the same standards. Even if there is a part of you that believes that your experience does not measure up to that kind of characterization of who I am, you should nevertheless embrace the truth of my affirmative, giving heart. Under no circumstances should you ever permit experience, especially unpleasant experience, to speak more loudly in your life than my word. Although experiences are subject to change, my word remains unchanged. Are you aware that I put my word ahead of my personal name? Because of this, individuals who do not know my name but who act in line with my word experience the identical outcomes that I promised you would occur. Despite the fact that your comprehension of who I am is somewhat lacking, my word is the aspect that will determine what happens in the future. Due to the fact that I am the Word, I will never deny myself, even if other people refuse me. Have faith in my word and submit yourself to my word so that you can eventually become a word from the Word and a gift as I am. The generosity that dwells within my heart is tied to and stems from the unlimited glory that I possess. Your restrictions will be removed when you give in the same manner that I give, which is extravagantly and generously, without any withholding or self-centered goals.